Shortly after the release of an audio recording this past Saturday morning of a conversation that allegedly included.
What if the biggest scandal in basketball isn't in the NBA, but right now, inside the WNBA? Not just blown calls or player rivalries, but something deeper. A leaked recording, suspicious internal payments, and a league that appears to be protecting some stars while holding others back. At the center of it all, the commissioner herself, silent while the league faces its biggest credibility test in history. This isn't clickbait. This is the moment women's basketball could change forever. Let's break it all down. It started like a whisper. A mysterious audio clip dropped quietly on a Saturday morning. In it, a voice, reportedly connected to someone inside league operations, made a chilling claim. What if the WNBA isn't being run fairly? That sentence flipped everything. No longer just fan rumors or Reddit theories, this was the first spark of something explosive. Within hours, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver acknowledged the situation and confirmed that his office would review the allegations. And then came the shocker. Reports emerged of a list naming specific referees who had allegedly received money under the label of consulting fees. And while nothing was confirmed, insiders suggested these payments may have been approved at the highest level of the WNBA. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from missed calls to something far more dangerous, a potential abuse of power that could shake the league's foundation. Caitlin Clark didn't just arrive in the WNBA, she exploded into it. Overnight, she became the face of the league, packing arenas, boosting ratings, and selling out merchandise like never before. But while the business side of the WNBA reaped the rewards, something on the court felt off. Clark was getting hammered, pushed to the floor, elbowed, smacked on the arms, and rarely got the whistle. But the moment she reacted, she was the one getting hit with technical fouls. It wasn't subtle. Fans saw it. They felt the bias. How could the league's biggest asset, the very reason millions were now tuning in, be treated like an outsider? Some wondered if it was growing pains. Others said it was jealousy. But more and more, people began to ask, could something deeper be influencing the way she's treated? jaWilson is undeniably one of the best in the league. Her resume speaks volumes, MVPs, titles, dominance. But a game against the Indiana Fever raised eyebrows everywhere. In that single contest, Wilson was sent to the free throw line 13 times, more than the entire Fever roster combined. And it wasn't just about the number, it was about the timing. Every time Indiana started gaining momentum, a whistle would blow, stopping the game and sending Wilson to the line. It felt like the rhythm was being broken intentionally. Whether or not the calls were fair, the perception was loud and clear. Something wasn't right, and that perception spread like wildfire. But what came next? Even more baffling. While jaWilson was drawing whistles, Aaliyah Boston was getting hacked under the basket with little to no response from officials. In that same game, she drew contact repeatedly and walked away with only 2 free throw attempts. That's nearly impossible to explain for a post player who lives in the paint. The difference between her and Wilson isn't talent, it's attention. Boston isn't being spotlighted the same way, and the silence of the officials made that difference glaring. For fans watching, it didn't just feel like missed calls, it felt like missed respect. And when certain stars get treated as invisible, it sends a message far louder than the scoreboard. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White couldn't take it anymore. Game after game, she watched her players get hit with no calls, while the opponents received constant whistles. In a moment of visible frustration, she let the referees have it and got a technical for it. But that tech became more than just a penalty. It became a message. Fans didn't see a coach losing control. They saw a leader refusing to stay silent. Stephanie wasn't just defending Clark or Boston, she was standing up for fairness in a league that suddenly didn't feel fair at all. And her outburst may have been the spark that other coaches needed to start speaking out too. With the WNBA's recent embrace of sports betting, every call, every foul, every free throw now has monetary value. That alone raises serious ethical questions. When betting lines rely on player stats and referees control which fouls are called and when, the opportunity for manipulation, or even the perception of it, becomes real. And that's the problem. Even if nothing is proven, fans are starting to connect dots that may or may not exist. It's not about evidence anymore. It's about trust. And when the whistle starts to feel bought, the game feels broken. The internet erupted. Fans flooded Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, and YouTube with highlight clips of Clark being fouled and ignored. Hashtags like #Justice for Clark and #Ref Scandal trended across the country. Meme after meme mocked the officiating. One even showed a referee blowing a gold whistle with cash flying out. And the backlash wasn't limited to fans. Even NBA superstars like LeBron James and Chris Paul chimed in, calling for accountability and fairness. This wasn't just a WNBA issue anymore. It became a full-on basketball credibility crisis, and it was unfolding in real time. And then the attention turned to the top. Reports surfaced that consulting fees had been paid to certain referees, the very ones involved in controversial games. These payments were reportedly connected to the office of Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. But here's the part that stunned fans. Engelbert remained completely silent. No press statement, no media appearance, nothing. And in moments like this, silence speaks volumes. As the storm grows, fans and analysts alike are asking the same thing. Why hasn't the commissioner addressed this? The longer the silence continues, the louder the suspicion becomes. Scandals don't just damage reputation, they damage business. And that's exactly what this one is doing. According to multiple reports, at least 2 major WNBA sponsors are reevaluating their involvement. For the league, that's more than just bad PR. It threatens salaries, TV deals, and expansion plans. No billion-dollar brand wants to be associated with a league under investigation. And unless the WNBA takes real steps to restore trust, this scandal could create a financial hole that takes years to climb out of. Right now, fans are wondering if they're even watching real basketball. Players feel unprotected, coaches feel outnumbered, viewers feel deceived. When a league's officiating can no longer be trusted, the entire foundation starts to crack. This isn't just about a bad week or a few missed calls, this is about legitimacy. And if that crumbles, the WNBA doesn't just lose fans, it loses its identity. Caitlin Clark's popularity is undeniable. She's not just a rookie, she's a revolution. Every game she plays becomes a headline, every clip goes viral. But sometimes, popularity comes with backlash. When someone new takes the spotlight, the power structure shifts, and not everyone is comfortable with that. Whether it's jealousy, fear of change, or old-school thinking, Clark has gone from being the league's biggest opportunity to becoming its biggest disruption. And when power feels threatened, systems start to push back. Sometimes quietly, sometimes violently, but always intentionally. Mainstream media hasn't helped. One day they're celebrating Clark as the future of women's basketball. The next day, they're tearing her down as overhyped or too privileged. This whiplash creates confusion and fuels division, and the influence is bigger than people realize. Media narratives shape public perception. They influence MPV votes. They put pressure on referees, coaches, and even league executives. The media has become an invisible hand in this entire controversy, pushing, pulling, and often doing more harm than good. And no one is holding them accountable. Behind the scenes, more coaches are starting to talk, not loudly, but carefully. Some are avoiding questions altogether. Others give vague, diplomatic answers. The tension is there, just beneath the surface. Most of them see what's happening, but they also know the risk of speaking out. Fines, suspensions, or being seen as disloyal to the league. The result? A quiet room filled with loud thoughts. Until someone bigger than Stephanie White steps up, that silence is likely to continue. And with it, the damage. It's not just the coaches. Players are stuck too. Speak out and you become a target. Stay quiet and the system remains unchecked. Some veterans have offered quiet support for Clark. A like here, a subtle comment there. But that's about it. Most are playing it safe. Not because they don't care, but because they know how easily they could be the next scapegoat. And that silence? It's not apathy. It's fear. And fear in a league that's supposed to be empowering is a problem no one wants to talk about. At this point, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert is no longer managing a league. She's managing a full-blown crisis. And still, there's been no press conference, no public apology, no sign of action. Her absence is becoming the most consistent part of this scandal. As the noise grows louder, Engelbert's silence becomes more damaging than the accusations themselves. Leadership is tested in chaos, and so far the fans feel like they're watching the commissioner fold, not fight. With NBA Commissioner Adam Silver now involved, fans are split. Some believe he'll restore order, bring in accountability and structure. Others fear a takeover, that the WNBA could become a developmental sideshow instead of a standalone league. The NBA has the resources, the oversight, the media muscle. But does it have the will to protect the WNBA's independence? That's the question no one wants to answer. And the way this is handled will shape the next decade of women's basketball. It's a question that keeps coming up. Would this ever happen in the NBA? The truth is, probably not. The NBA has stronger referee evaluations, more experienced officials, and tighter public oversight. The WNBA, on the other hand, is still building those systems. And this scandal has exposed just how fragile the structure really is. Now the whole world can see where the cracks are. Strip everything else away. The marketing, the drama, the money, and what do WNBA players want? Fairness, respect, safety. That's it. They're not asking for superstar treatment. They just want the game to protect them like it protects the business side. And that includes players like Caitlin Clark, who has taken more physical abuse in her rookie season than most vets do in 5. Standing up for her isn't favoritism, it's accountability. Scandals happen in every sport. What matters is what comes next. Will the WNBA act, or will it wait for the noise to die down and sweep everything under the rug? Because the biggest risk here isn't that people know what's going on. It's that no one in power seems willing to fix it. Transparency isn't the enemy, it's the last hope, but only if someone has the courage to lead. This is it. The moment where the future of the WNBA is on the line. The curtain has been pulled back. The fans are watching. The sponsors are watching. The media is circling. The players are whispering. And the league? It stands at a crossroads. Either rebuild trust and fix what's broken, or let it all collapse in silence. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about integrity, about accountability, about truth. Something incredible is happening outside the arenas. Fans are no longer just passive viewers. They're becoming investigators, activists, and whistleblowers in their own right. Reddit threads are flooded with frame-by-frame breakdowns of suspicious calls. TikTok creators are editing highlight reels that expose the imbalance in officiating. Even Instagram fan pages are turning into watchdog platforms, tagging the WNBA directly and demanding transparency. Hashtags like #protect Clark and #fix the WNBA aren't just trending, they're movements now. The league once counted on fans being too distracted to notice. But now, the fan base is informed, furious, and laser-focused on holding leadership accountable. The energy isn't dying down, it's accelerating. And the league is under more pressure than ever before because of it. Behind closed doors, it's no longer just tension, it's war. Front office staffers are leaking emails. Anonymous sources from within teams are talking to reporters. Referees are being quietly reassigned mid-season. You can feel the internal collapse beginning. The WNBA, which has always prided itself on unity and sisterhood, is now split down the middle. On one side, players and coaches demanding reform. On the other, leadership clinging to control and pushing silence. The locker rooms are uneasy. Every press conference feels rehearsed. Every tweet from league officials is flooded with replies calling them out. When a sports league starts turning against itself, it doesn't just need a PR fix, it needs a revolution. And from the inside out, the WNBA looks like it's reaching its boiling point. At the heart of all this chaos lies a single question. What kind of league does the WNBA want to be? This isn't just about Caitlin Clark, or Sophie Cunningham, or Kathy Engelbert. It's about whether this league is ready to step into its next era with honesty, or fall back into a system that protects the powerful and punishes the bold. The WNBA has an opportunity right now to clean house, listen to its players, respect its fans, and build something real. But it can only do that if it stops hiding behind silence and starts leading with action. This scandal isn't just a PR nightmare, it's a defining test. And history will remember how they handled it. So now it's your turn. Is this just a growing pain in a rising league, or is something more broken beneath the surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. If you believe in fairness, in protecting players, and in calling out problems when others won't, smash that like button. Subscribe to @BaskXpress for more stories they don't want you to hear, and share this video if you believe the game deserves better.